In the dead of night, deep in the Brazilian countryside, people speak of a creature that haunts the darkness. Thundering hooves, glowing embers in the air, and the eerie, unmistakable presence of the Headless Mule. It's no ordinary cryptid. This creature, with flames bursting from where its head should be, strikes terror into anyone who hears its approach. Known as Mula-sem-cabeça, this terrifying figure emerges from Brazil's rich folklore, linked to dark tales of curses and forbidden relationships. Some say it's a woman, condemned to this monstrous form after committing an unspeakable sin. According to legend, the curse is often tied to a liaison with a priest, resulting in the horrifying transformation, a punishment that turns the cursed into a flaming, headless creature, doomed to roam endlessly. Where did these stories come from, and why has this eerie legend survived through generations? The origins of the Headless Mule are as mysterious as the creature itself. Let's unravel the chilling mythology behind it. The origins of the Headless Mule are deeply rooted in Brazilian folklore, with ties to colonial history and religious beliefs. The legend is said to have been passed down through generations, evolving over time, but always keeping its core elements intact. At the heart of the tale lies the curse that transforms a woman into this ghastly creature. In many versions of the story, the woman becomes a mule because of a forbidden relationship with a priest, a sin so severe that it invokes a supernatural punishment. But why a mule, and why headless? In rural Brazil, mules were often seen as common beasts of burden, humble and hard-working. Yet in this story, the creature is anything but ordinary. Some believe the headless aspect represents the loss of identity and control. The cursed woman is no longer herself, stripped of her humanity and driven to madness. The fire that erupts from the creature's neck symbolizes the burning guilt or shame tied to the sin. Interestingly, the myth of the Headless Mule shares similarities with other creatures from global folklore. In Mexico, there's the tale of La Llorona, a woman cursed for her sins, and in European legends, there are stories of headless horsemen. These parallels suggest that the Headless Mule is not just a Brazilian phenomenon, but part of a broader pattern of legends where moral transgressions lead to terrifying consequences. But in Brazil, the Headless Mule has its own unique flavor, colored by the cultural, religious, and social dynamics of the time. How does this legend continue to haunt people today? Could it be more than just a story? Over the years, there have been countless accounts of people claiming to have encountered the Headless Mule in rural Brazil. These stories often follow a similar pattern. Someone hears galloping hooves approaching under the cover of night, but as they turn to look, what they see is beyond belief. A mule without a head, fire spewing from its neck, charging wildly through the countryside. One of the most famous encounters comes from the state of Minas Gerais, where an old farmer reportedly witnessed the Headless Mule during a late-night trek back to his village. He described hearing the distinct sound of hooves pounding against the dirt road, only to turn and see the creature charging at him, surrounded by a strange, burning light. The farmer claimed he barely escaped by diving into a nearby river, an act that some say can break the curse of the Headless Mule. In other parts of Brazil, particularly in the interior regions, villagers speak of hearing the creature's approach long before they ever see it. The mule's breath, hot like fire, is said to scorch the earth in its path, leaving trails of singed grass behind. Some locals believe that hiding a small item made of iron, like a nail or horseshoe, can protect them from an encounter. There are even tales of priests performing rituals to ward off the beast. Though sightings are often passed down as folklore, many of the people who share these stories speak with a chilling certainty. Some even claim to have scars or burns as proof of their encounters. Whether these stories are products of overactive imaginations or genuine experiences, the Headless Mule remains a figure of dread in the regions where the legend thrives. Could these testimonies point to something more than just myth? When it comes to the Headless Mule, science and skepticism have their own take on the legend. While the terrifying stories of fiery, headless creatures roaming the night are enough to send chills down anyone's spine, many experts believe there are rational explanations for these sightings. One theory suggests that the sightings of the Headless Mule could be misinterpretations of natural phenomena. In remote areas, it's not uncommon for people to witness strange lights, such as fogo fatuo or will-o'-the-wisps, a natural occurrence where gases from decaying organic matter ignite, creating glowing orbs that seem to float in the air. In the dark of night, it's easy to imagine how someone could mistake these lights for flames erupting from the neck of a supernatural creature. Others propose that the sightings could be a form of mass hysteria, where the power of folklore and fear cause people to believe they've seen something that isn't really there. Psychological factors like sleep deprivation, isolation, or fear of the dark can also play a role in shaping what people think they've encountered. Additionally, some experts argue that the legend of the Headless Mule may be a reflection of social and religious anxieties from centuries ago. The story of a woman being cursed for engaging in a forbidden relationship with a priest could symbolize the deep societal taboos surrounding the church, sin, and punishment. In this way, the Headless Mule could be more of a moral tale than a literal creature. While science may dismiss the idea of a fiery, headless beast, the Headless Mule continues to hold a firm place in the imagination of those who keep the legend alive. But is there room for alternative explanations? Could there be more to the mystery? For those who embrace alternative theories, the Headless Mule could be more than just a cultural myth or a product of misinterpretation. Some believe that the creature is tied to the supernatural, existing beyond the reach of scientific explanation. Paranormal enthusiasts argue that the Headless Mule is not a simple tale of moral punishment, but rather a manifestation of cursed energy or even a spirit trapped between worlds. One theory suggests that the Headless Mule is a type of shapeshifter, a common theme in many supernatural traditions. According to this idea, the woman cursed to become the mule may not just transform into a beast, but cross into another realm, becoming something neither fully animal nor spirit, an entity fueled by dark magic or a powerful curse. This could explain why the creature seems to have unnatural abilities, like fire breathing and the ability to vanish into thin air. Another conspiracy suggests that the Headless Mule's story was created to cover up real events or strange sightings in rural areas, possibly linked to other paranormal phenomena such as UFOs or cryptids. Some point to the intense descriptions of fire and light surrounding the creature as clues, hinting that what people are seeing might be extraterrestrial in nature, rather than a mythical curse. On the flip side, skeptics of these theories argue that they stretch the imagination too far, offering little more than speculation without proof. But for those who believe in the supernatural, the lack of solid evidence only adds to the mystery. Could there be more to the Headless Mule than folklore or science can explain? The truth may be as elusive as the creature itself. So, is the Headless Mule real or just a myth? The answer remains as mysterious as the creature itself. On one hand, the tale has all the elements of folklore, a moral lesson rooted in fear and superstition passed down through generations. Science and skepticism offer reasonable explanations, whether through misidentifications, natural phenomena, or psychological effects. Yet, the persistence of the legend and the countless stories of encounters suggest that there may be something more. Whether it's a collective imagination fueled by centuries of belief or something truly paranormal, the Headless Mule continues to captivate and terrify. For those who live in regions where the legend is strong, the line between myth and reality may not be as clear as it seems. Ultimately, the mystery of the Headless Mule remains unsolved. The question lingers: is this creature a symbol of moral punishment, a figment of fear, or a real entity lurking in the shadows of Brazilian nights? The answer might never be known, but the legend endures, leaving it up to you to decide what you believe. Make sure to subscribe for more cryptid mysteries and let us know in the comments. Do you think the Headless Mule is just a story, or could there be something real behind this fiery, headless terror? Stay tuned for the next episode, where we uncover another mysterious creature from the depths of folklore.